Hi, Stepp Sydnor, and I have a step up moment for my sales reps out there that want to earn a high level of income, or sales leaders that are managing salespeople. And I want to bring you a message about, oddly enough, bad breath. All right, now, have you ever sat across from somebody that had bad breath? Oh, I know I have. I remember in one conversation I was introduced to somebody, and as they were talking, their breath was just horrifying. And I was doing everything I can to hold my breath to keep from smelling their breath. But here's the point I'm trying to make, that when people have bad breath, number one, they typically don't know that they have bad breath, do they? And I'm a nice guy. I'm not going to tell them that they have bad breath. You probably wouldn't either. The other thing is that the only thing you can think about when somebody has bad breath is not what they're talking about. You only think about what they're saying. Isn't that right? And getting away from what they're saying. You can't pay attention to their words or their meaning, because the only thing you think about is, I got to get away. Well, just as if you were talking to somebody that had bad breath, here's the point I'm trying to make. That your prospects that you're calling on see you as having bad breath. Salespeople have bad breath. That's the perception of almost everybody you sit down with. Now, what does that mean? That means that when you smell like you're trying to sell me something, then I am going to turn you off. I can't think about anything else. I can't even think about what it is that you're messaging or you're trying to say, simply because all I think about is you're trying to get into my wallet or get into my purse, right? So one of the things that you learn, that we teach people in our Sales Meeting Mastery course to remember, is that you've got to diminish the bad breath problem immediately when you sit down and do a sales meeting with somebody, because the perception is there. You've got to diminish that fairly quickly. Now, there's some consequences that you could see when you have bad breath. Let me list a couple of them. One, prospects call in for a price quote or option for a package deal, and then you never hear from them again. Well, why is that? Well, because the only thing they're calling about is a price. Well, why are they calling about a price? Well, because they think you're just going to sell me something. I don't want to be sold. You'll do this. When somebody calls you up or you're looking for a price, I'll just call and say, this is what I want, this is the price I want. I don't want to hear any sales pitch that goes behind that, because it smells like bad breath to me. Another one is prospects don't want to be on the phone very long. You know this. You call, you're trying to make a meeting, they tell you, I'm not interested, but a lot of times that's true. They're not interested. Well, what do they think's going on? They think you're going to try to sell me something. Or the prospect says no as soon as you initiate a cold call. I mean, they don't even know you, and they're holding out their hand. Setting a meeting with the decision maker is getting harder and harder today. So any meeting you get with a decision maker, it tends to be what? Very short, and the prospect still isn't interested. Another indicator, prospects are interested only in a bidding war between you and your competition. Well, that's a bad breath problem. Or you're seeing an increased turnover in sales staff. Well, why is that? Why would you see an increase in turnover in sales staff? Because it's getting more and more difficult today to sell, because people are approaching prospects with a bad breath problem. And here's the point, is a lot of us don't know we've got bad breath. And when we start talking our stuff and our features and the benefits, nobody wants to be sold to. So you've got to change that talk track in order to do something fresh and something different. So here's an acid test. Let's say that you're walking into a Macy's department store. As soon as you see a clerk coming towards you, what do? Well, you give them the hand, don't you? You put your hand up like this, and you're pushing them away. Well, why do you do that? Well, because what are you thinking? You think that they're going to ask you to help to what? So they can sell you something. So one of the things you want to avoid, the first thing when having a meeting with executives, you've got to avoid the bad breath problem. You have got to diminish that perception fairly quickly. I suggest that you diminish it within 2.5 minutes and begin to set the impression up that you're a consultant, partner, problem solver, because that's who they want to talk to. Well, this has been a step up moment for salespeople. Please like us on social media for LinkedIn and Facebook. If you need some help, email me at stepp@steppsydnor.com or visit our website at steppsydnor.com. Hey, I hope you enjoyed watching our video. Be sure to click on the link below and get some great resources and books. This is a 32 Sales Objection book that will help you handle any objection that comes your way. Also, get out of survivor mode and become a thriving salesperson with our Survivor Thrive book, and you may want to consider the companion workbook, the Survivor Thrive workbook. Now, to get these resources, you can click on the link below. If you go to our website and order it, you'll get an author signed copy of any of these books, or you can simply click on Amazon, go to Amazon.com. The link is below, and you can get it from any of the Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and things like that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.